You know, in a game like this where everyone is flying around and throwing fireballs and whatnot, it can be really hard to compete if you don't have any bending. So what's a guy like SOKKA supposed to do? Luckily for us, he's got a secret technique that'll absolutely knock the opponent's socks off. It goes a little something like... So, yeah. The main gameplay mechanic that sets SOKKA apart is his flow movement. Despite not being able to cancel his medium normals into his heavy ones, he can flow cancel any of his normals and break into a full sprint at the blink of an eye. If you combine that with the ability to halt his movement almost immediately and go back to pressing buttons, then those of you who have played Street Fighter 4 might be able to see how this can become obnoxiously strong in the right hands. On top of creating unique combos and block strings that can seemingly go on forever, SOKKA's flow moves can also enable mix-ups, as the follow-up attacks he gets from the sprint consist of a low and overhead. And the follow-up to his low-profiling downflow can cross the opponent up if spaced correctly, and will blind them on hit, making any subsequent mix-up that much harder to see, let alone react to. He can also jump out of his sprint, which has various applications in neutral and grants him access to one of the strongest air buttons in the game in the form of his JB. SOKKA's flow movement can become even stronger with his infamous girlfriend-installed chakra art. Upon receiving a morale boost from Suki, his flow gauge will continually replenish, even if he's in the unbalanced state, and his sprints become significantly quicker. For the duration of his install, he can flow cancel as many times as he likes. As impressive as SOKKA's athleticism may be, you didn't think that would be all he's brought to the table now, did you? As a master tactician, SOKKA has come prepared with a variety of weapons, and each of them correspond to one of his special moves. His quarter circle forward will have him throw out his trusty boomerang, with the button pressed dictating its trajectory. 236C throws the boomerang behind him, providing him with a form of Okizeme that can keep the opponent contained even if they try to roll out of the corner. When used in conjunction with his aforementioned movement and air buttons, the boomerang makes his neutral and keep away game incredibly strong. However, if he fails to retrieve the boomerang after throwing it out, that neutral threat all but vanishes until he can pick it back up. The act of walking up to it and picking it up doesn't sound like it's worth talking about, but it contains a secret bit of tech, as picking it up will actually cancel any animation SOKKA is currently doing. So if you throw the boomerang with the intent to make it come back at the right time, you can use the retrieval cancel to give yourself plus frames after moves that would normally be punishable on block, and open up new combo opportunities. Pretty crazy, right? SOKKA's quarter circle back has him whip out his iconic space sword to knock the opponent into the air. 214A is quick and often used as a combo ender or the occasional anti-air, while 214B allows you to continue juggling the opponent afterwards, but has slower startup and can only be comboed into off of the right starter. And the EX version guarantees a juggle off of any starter at the cost of chakra. 214C, much like SOKKA himself, is the odd one out, as it's not very useful in combos, but its unconventional nature is also its greatest strength, as it is completely unblockable. This is the ace up SOKKA's sleeve that'll help him close out rounds by catching the opponent by surprise. Using the space sword in the air will have him dive back to the ground, enabling him to convert off of air hits. By using a Tiger Knee input, you can perform this overhead attack pretty close to the ground, making it a really quick mix-up option. This is what you'll be using the boomerang retrieval technique on most of the time, as it's very punishable on block otherwise. Now onto SOKKA's supports. With the Kyoshi warrior Suki at his side, the costs of SOKKA's flow cancels are cut in half, and the recovery animation of his install super gets slightly shorter, making it easier to use in combos. Pick this support if you value consistency, or simply want to zoom around like you got ADHD. While under the tutelage of Master Piandao, landing a hit with SOKKA's Space Sword will buff the damage of the following sword hit. This buff will continue to stack with each hit and does not reset between rounds. Build up enough stacks, and the sword hits will also gain extra hit stun, opening up new combo rounds. Even the unblockable can lead to conversions. Pick this support if you want to make every mix-up that much scarier and make health bars magically disappear. Princess Yue is by far the most unique and technical support of the three, as it completely changes the way SOKKA's boomerang functions. For starters, you can now charge up the boomerang, which makes it travel farther and power through other projectiles. And once it's been thrown, the rope tied to the boomerang allows him to call it back to him at any point. This recall opens up brand new combos, setups, and zoning options that take advantage of the boomerang's new ability to hit the opponent on its return. If you're looking for a nimble, unorthodox character with plenty of tricks to fool even the strongest benders around, then I'm sure you'll grow to be a true warrior with SOKKA.